Coaches are accused of forcing a student athlete to eat pepperoni pizza despite his religion forbidding pork. News 5's Emily Hamilton was at that meeting and has the latest.
Courtney, the Canton City School District Board of Education deliberated for about an hour and a half before ultimately making the announcement that head coach Marcus Watley and 6 of his assistants have been relieved of their coaching duties following that incident in question. The future of the McKinley High School football team is headed in a new direction as of Thursday evening.
The identified coaches engaged in actions that constituted inappropriate, demeaning, and divisive behavior in a misguided attempt to instill discipline in the student athletes.
As former head coach Marcus Watley and 6 of his assistants were relieved of all coaching duties at a special called school board meeting, and current athletic director Antonio Hall was named the interim head football coach for the upcoming season.
We believe that the individual we hired as the interim head coach is the right individual to lead our football team back to where it should be.
The incident in question happened in a school gym and was captured by school district cameras, according to Superintendent Jeff Talbert.
It was inappropriate, it was divisive, demeaning, and again, it's not aligned to our professional, the standards we hold our professionals to.
An attorney for the underage student athlete says McKinley High School football coaches forced the student to eat a pepperoni pizza in front of his team as a punishment for not showing up to practice, which violated his Hebrew Israeli religious faith. Attorney Peter Patakis, retained by Watley and his family hours before the Thursday board meeting, says his client was trying to teach the student athlete a lesson.
Marcus brings back the pizza. Oh, it has pepperoni on it. I don't eat pork. I'll go get you some chicken fingers. No, it's okay. I'll just eat this pizza. So we took the pepperoni off and he ate the pizza.
Watley's attorney says the student was never forced or coerced to eat the pizza.
This young man had every opportunity to get up and leave the room at any time.
Administrators and school board members ultimately denied Watley's attorney's request for a week-long extension to the investigation and vowed Thursday to begin a new chapter for the McKinley High School football team.
The events that occurred on that day, right, that was orchestrated and led by our head coach and the 6 other assistants was inappropriate, it was demeaning, and it was a misguided attempt at enforcing accountability.
Former head coach Marcus Watley and 3 of his assistants hold other positions within the school district, and it's unclear yet what disciplinary action, if any, will be taken against them off the football field. Watley's attorney also said it's unclear at this time if he plans to file litigation against the school district for his termination. Reporting in Canton, Emily Hamilton, News 5.
The fired head coach of the Canton McKinley football team has taken his case back to the school board. Marcus Watley and 6 other coaches were fired by the board last week after charges they made a player eat food that violated his religious beliefs. January Keaton has an update.
Yesterday, the Canton City School District Board of Education held a hearing as part of due process in Coach Marcus Watley's contract as an academic liaison with Canton McKinley High School.
We were hoping to learn what the district's evidence is for the wild, false, reckless, outrageous accusations against Marcus Watley and his coaching staff.
Watley, also the school's head football coach, is no longer employed as a coach with Canton McKinley. He allegedly made a Hebrew Israelite athlete eat pepperoni pizza for missing a practice May 24th. Pork is against the religion.
Are they, doing their job, or are they capable of doing their job?
At yesterday's hearing, surveillance video was shown of the incident, but without sound. Patakos says it proves nothing.
We know what happened on that surveillance video. There's no audio of that video. They would have heard Coach Watley saying, "You're free to leave. You're free to leave at any time."
Patakos says the school board overreacted and there's still time to bring a good coach back.
I cannot imagine why it wouldn't bring Marcus Watley back as head coach.
Now, the Canton School Board conducted an investigation shortly after the incident, and it concluded, quote, that the coach's actions were inappropriate, demeaning, divisive, and following with this behavior will not be tolerated. Now, the athlete's father, who you saw there in the piece, said he did have a meeting with the superintendent of the school board after the incident, but they haven't heard from him since. And the family's lawyer says if they don't get back to them soon, the family will have no choice but to file a lawsuit. Meantime, Watley was fired from his coaching portion of his job. He still remains an academic liaison with Canton McKinley, and that portion of his role will be decided when they conclude the findings of the meeting that everyone had yesterday, Russ.
Okay, January Keaton, thank you.
Shalom. All praise to Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai, and double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. This lesson is going to be entitled Hebrew Israelite Forced to Eat Pork. Now, you saw the two videos preceding this part of the video, right? Two news reports. There are conflicting reports about what actually happened. And also I want to say that this is not new news. This is from about a week ago. The first news report was from about a week ago, and then the second one was an update on actually what's been going on. I actually caught wind of this. I saw several brothers did a video on it. At the time, I didn't think it, I didn't really, I guess I was busy, tied up doing other videos, but then today, the spirit came on me to look further into it and to do my own lesson on it. Anyway, as you saw, there are conflicting reports. First, the coach, which you see this guy on the screen, right, with the naked face and the bald ass head. He basically was talking about it goes like this. This coach is now crying on TV, him and his lawyer claiming that he never forced the boy to eat the pork. But this is the thing, if you in the first news report, I believe it was stated that the player repeatedly told these coaches over 10 times over a period of time that he doesn't eat pork. You niggas knew that he didn't eat pork. So if you was going to punish him by making him eat something, why would you go get a pepperoni pizza and then say he can take the pepperoni off of it? Now you crying saying, your lawyer saying that if you only had audio, then they would realize that you never forced him to eat it. But at the end of the day, why did you, of all things that you could have bought or could have tried to make your point with, you still got pepperoni pizza? I mean, duh. Nobody feels sorry for you. And you know what? I really believe that the coach, see, this is the thing. You so-called Negroes, you black Americans, especially you Christians, you have a very cynical spirit. And you mock the Lord and you mock our heritage. So you thought it was cute what you was doing. But now your ass basically got fired. Now you on TV crying and you want people to feel sorry for you. Nobody feels sorry for you, man. And I also noticed from the news reports that the so-called white people really hate to say exactly what it is. Like you had one guy say against his religion. I think one of the white reporters said Hebrew Israeli. Now you see here from the New York Post, it says right here, McKinley High School football coach Marcus Watley allegedly made Jewish player eat pork as a punishment. The only person I heard get it right was the so-called black lady in the video, the second news report. She said Hebrew Israelite. She was the only one that got it right. Now, this is the New York Post, and it says Ohio coaches fired for giving player pork against his religious beliefs. And then when you look into the article a bit, and this is that punk ass coach, I guess there's an older picture of him. When you look in the article, it says head coach Marcus Watley and 7 assistant coaches at McKinley Senior High School in Canton had initially been suspended after allegedly ordering the 17-year-old Hebrew Israelite to eat an entire pizza with pepperoni residue, right? So the article got that part right. But Hebrew Israelite and Jewish is not the same thing. And you people know that. You know it. Now, at the end of the day, this guy was dead wrong for doing what he did. He should be fired and he shouldn't be reinstated or rehired. Because you can just take one look at the guy and you just know that he's a spiteful. A lot of you black Christians, you're spiteful, you're vindictive, and you just playing out little bitches, man. You hate the fact that we're returning to our heritage and you want to do anything to disrespect. And you were in a position of authority and you thought it would be cute, and it's always Jake with that fucking pork. It could have been anything else if you wanted to punish that boy, but when you had to go get pepperoni pizza and then say he could take the pepperoni off of it. Now the Lord commanded, and some of you simple Israelites out there, you may say, well, what's wrong? He took the pepperoni off of it. What was the fucking point of getting that pizza to begin with? And you have to know that if it's got residue on it, you're still not to eat it. Let's go real quick to Leviticus. Laws about animals for food, right? Leviticus 11:1 says, and the Lord spake unto Moses and to Aaron, saying unto them, speak unto the children of Israel, saying, these are the beasts which ye shall eat among all the beasts that are on the earth. And they proceeded to get the law pertaining to what beasts you can eat and which ones you cannot eat. And this never changed. Now, when you get to verse 7, because the other verses talk about rabbits and other animals, you get to verse 7, and the swine, which is pork, though he divideth the hoof and he be cloven footed, yet he cheweth not the cud. He is unclean. He is unclean to you. Listen to this. Of their flesh shall ye not eat, and their carcass shall ye not touch. They are unclean to you. So taking pepperoni pizza and peeling the pepperoni off of it, that's a no-no. Okay, you're not even supposed to touch the shit, truthfully. Now, if you was in a situation where it was life or death and that's all you had to eat, I might be able to see that. But in this situation, it's pretty stupid. You just don't eat it. You know, we were just going into this at camp, you know, because Jake asked us questions. Why were we saying that, you know, not to eat pork? But this is the reason why. Because in the dietary law of the Hebrew Israelites, which we are, the Most High said not to do that. Now, if you go to Deuteronomy 14:1, it says clean and unclean animals. Listen, it says, ye are the children of the Lord, Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai, your God. Ye shall not cut yourselves, nor make any baldness between your eyes for the dead, for thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy power. And the Lord hath chosen thee to be a peculiar people unto himself above all the nations that are upon the earth. Listen to this, verse 3, thou shalt not eat any abominable thing. And then it goes on to give you the beast that you cannot eat, the beast that you can eat. You should not eat any abominable thing, right? Verse 8 says, and the swine, because it divideth the hoof, yet cheweth not the cud, it is unclean unto you. Ye shall not eat of their flesh, nor touch their dead carcass. You see? So it's pretty clear and plain what you're to do and what you're not to do. And when you deal with so-called black Americans, like I said, particularly Christians, you have a very fake, cynical ass spirit about you. Now you think just because you simply you're raising all these other issues that doesn't have anything to do with anything. You're saying, well, he was free to leave at any time. What's the fucking point, though? The point is that you insulted him by even offering him that. You could have just got a cheese pizza and said you got to eat this whole pizza, but no, you went out of your way to make sure that it was pork because you wanted it to be an insult. That's the reason why the Most High had you get fired, man, because you're an asshole. Now, for you so-called Christians that are gonna come on this video and you think that some kind of way, I'm just going to go right to the point. You think there's some kind of way that the Lord made all the food clean. You could eat whatever you want to eat. Okay, well, explain this. Isaiah 66:15 is an end time prophecy. Listen to it. It says, for behold, Salakia, for behold, the Lord will come with fire and with his chariots like a whirlwind to render his anger with fury and his rebuke with flames of fire. For by fire and by his sword will the Lord plead with all flesh, and the slain of the Lord shall be many. So clearly this is the Lord coming back in the end times, right? It said the slain of the Lord shall be many. They that sanctify themselves and purify themselves in the gardens behind one tree in the midst, eating swine's flesh and the abomination and the mouse shall be consumed together, saith the Lord. So you black Christians, if Jesus, according to you, if Jesus died so you could eat whatever you want, or if he didn't have an issue with you eating unclean food, why is he going to destroy folks, consume them for eating swine's flesh and abominable foods? Why? I ask you. It's because you're going against what you were commanded to do. Let's read it again. They that sanctify themselves and purify themselves in the gardens. The gardens represent the churches, the gardens and the groves. Behind one tree in the midst. The one tree is who? That fake ass preacher, right? Men are known, in the scriptures in some points as trees of righteousness. The Lord made me as a green bay tree, right? He said that the house of Israel and the house of Judah, the branches were cut off because of unbelief. It says, eating swine's flesh and the abomination and the mouse shall be consumed together, said the Lord. Why are they going to be destroyed? Because they're eating abominable foods, which really represents them going against what was commanded. And the Most High has an issue with any preacher If you claim you a man of God, if you're not separating clean from unclean, the Most High has an issue with you. This is Ezekiel 22, verse 24. Son of man, say unto her, thou art the land that is not cleansed, nor rained upon in the day of indignation. Listen. There is a conspiracy of her prophets in the midst thereof, like a lion ravening the prey. They have devoured souls. They have taken the treasure and precious things. They have made her many widows in the midst thereof. You hear this? The Lord said it's a conspiracy of these different prophets and preachers. Listen to what else they did. Her priests have violated my law and have profaned mine holy thing. They have put no difference between the holy and profane, neither have they showed difference between the unclean and the clean. Because in these churches, what do they say? They say the law was done away with. I even seen these deluded, mentally insane, or mentally backwards Christians like Vocab Malone and others saying Jesus declares all things clean. What's the point of the Most High making some foods clean and some unclean if his son is going to come and just undo everything? It doesn't even make sense. Neither have they showed difference between the unclean and the clean, and have hid their eyes from my Sabbaths, and I am profaned among them. And they do all these things. They violate, they say the law was done away with, continue to break it. They profane the Most High's holy things, right? And how do they do that? They profane the Sabbath. They profane pollute the holy people. It goes on to say they have put no difference between the holy and profane. What's that mean? Because the holy is what? The Israelites. You're a holy people. Who are the profane people? The Edomites. They'll tell you that Esau and us, we just all one big family now. No, we're not. Neither have they showed difference between the unclean and the clean, and have hid their eyes from my Sabbaths, and I am profaned among them. Yeah, they also said that the Sabbath is Sunday, or either said it's Saturday. Okay? They profane the Most High Sabbath. The point there being that there's been a conspiracy of these things that happen, and you can go all the way back to the time of the Maccabees. This has been a scheme of the so-called white man to pollute our people with pork. Okay? To pollute us, to have us leave off from our laws, and they always use swine's flesh was the main thing that the Greeks, the Edomites, one of the families of Edom, that's always been one of the key things. They could have, hey, there's other unclean beasts. Why is it always swine's flesh? You know? So here you have First Maccabees, chapter 1, verse 41. We'll start at it. It says, moreover, King Antiochus wrote to his whole kingdom that all should be one people. Wanted to bring everybody together. And everyone should leave his laws. Does it sound familiar? Sounds like the New World Order even back then. And it says, and everyone should leave his laws. So all the heathen agreed according to the commandment of the king. Yeah, many also of the Israelites consented to his religion, and sacrificed unto idols, and profaned the Sabbath. See that? It's just like we read in Ezekiel. For the king sent letters by messengers unto Jerusalem and the cities of Judah, that they should follow the strange laws of the land, even doing it to this very day. It's always been a scheme of these devils, and forbid burnt offerings and sacrifice and drink offerings in the temple, and that they should profane the Sabbaths and festival days, and pollute the sanctuary and holy people. See? What else? Set up altars and groves and chapels of idols, and sacrifice swine's flesh and unclean beasts. You see that? What was their point in doing this? That they should also leave their children uncircumcised, and make their souls abominable with all manner of uncleanness and profanation. For what reason? To the end that they might forget the law and change all the ordinances. See it? And whosoever would not do according to the commandment of the king, he said he should die. So, you know, there you go. So there's history on that. And you Negroes in America and around the world, you come in that same spirit. Because why? You're under the vibration of Caesar Borgia, white Jesus. And white Jesus comes from who? Those blood clot Greeks and Romans, which today are your average so-called white people, right? Which are Edomites. Okay? Serapis Christus worshippers is what you are. And you come in that spirit. And you niggas are the same ones from back in slavery that got indoctrinated with that white Jesus spirit. And ever since then, you can't get it off of you. So hell yeah, you should have been fired. Something worse really should happen to you. But even if you didn't force the boy and you told him he could take the pepperoni off, my point is, why did you even bother to even do that, man? It should have never even came up. The boy done told y'all over 10 times over the last little while that he doesn't eat pork. Why was the only thing that you went and got was something with pork on it? You're guilty and you're caught. Bottom line, man. I'm going to leave it off right there, brothers and sisters. I mean, the shit is vexing. But, you know, that's what disrespectful niggas in America will do. They disrespect us. But you know what? Pretty soon, the Lord is going to come back. He's going to burn these people, man. These 2/3 niggas in America. You black, you so-called black people. You want to stay stuck up Caesar Borgia's ass? The Most High is going to destroy you. All praise to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. Shalom.